Hello, students, and welcome to week 2. Last week, we learned about how a business is formed, the main participants in a business, and most of the external factors that influence a business. As we said, businesses don't stand on their own. This week, we're going to focus on people that actually start and create businesses. We begin with these people called entrepreneurs. And as the textbook defines entrepreneur, someone who identifies a business opportunity and assumes the risk of creating and running a business to take advantage of it. These folks, a few of them, you may have heard the name Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, famous people that actually created products in markets that were really never there. And today, as they started small businesses, and today, these companies have a commanding share of business in the markets. Another really good example is Elon Musk. I mean, this guy came from nowhere and started up a car company, electric car company, that today is bigger than Ford and Chevy. So how easy do you think it would be to start up a car company? Barriers to entry are really, really big. So it takes a lot of effort, a lot of risk and things like that, as an entrepreneur does, to be able to get a business off the ground and make it successful. Not everyone starting and running a business is an entrepreneur. There's some people that provide a product or service that fill a need with some differentiation possibly in the marketplace. They may limit the time spent on developing the business into something bigger and more complex. In contrast, many people either start or run a small business, a family business, and it could be a small restaurant, it could be a small shop for boutique shop to sell different clothing or things like that. As you continue reading the chapter, there's a section on small business. And everything starts with a small business. So today, as I mentioned, you have companies today like an Apple and a Microsoft that were a small business at one time. So according to the Small Business Administration, a small business is independently owned and operated and organized for profit, and it's not dominant in the field. So 28 million small businesses in the United States generate about 50% of our gross domestic product. So again, small businesses all together add up quite a bit of contribution to the economy. Particularly what a small business does is, one, creates jobs. So there's opportunities there. Like today, I'm in a small business. We have about 35 people. So we're thriving in our industry, but still a small business. Innovation, brings something different that, you may never had. Apple was a good example of that, starting out with the computers and the iPhone and iPod and so on and so forth. And also provide good opportunities for women and minorities to achieve financial independence and success. And today, as I mentioned, I work for a company that's less than 40 people. In the past, I've worked for companies that were, 300 plus people, small and medium-sized companies, and all of these businesses started as small businesses. And so most small businesses are in two categories. They may be goods producing, or they may be in the services end of the business. Today, most all businesses are in the services business and generate about 80% of the volume, whereas in the manufacturing side, it's much smaller. As manufacturing was outsourced to other countries, especially the United States, the services industry became much stronger. 20 years ago, most of the businesses were in manufacturing. So next in the textbook, the chapter talks about going to business for yourself. Again, many people, you probably know an owner or something that's worked in a company. And a lot of times people that go into business for themselves, aren't challenged enough to work for other people. They need to have that independence, and they need to thrive working on their own. And certainly there's pros and cons about being your own boss. And the textbook does a great job of identifying some of these. But I think one of the most important is the independence that people have, and knowing that certainly there's a lot of risk, but the control is what really gets people to really thrive. On the downside, again, you're there for the success and failure, and certainly the expectation is that you'll be a success. Next thing is starting a business for you. The textbook lists a series of questions that you may want to look at and ask yourself. The company I work for today is a husband and wife team, and it's a small company. but there's a lot of there's a lot of risk and there's a lot of effort that goes into it. One side of the one person handles the technical side, the manufacturing side, and the other person does sales and marketing. So it's a nice mix, and but a huge commitment and sacrifice, family time and things like that. The last part of the chapter looks at a makeup of a business plan. This is a great outline for if you're going to get into a business, what would all the different variables be that you want to look at in starting the business, starting with, why are you going to start this business? What's the purpose of what you're trying to accomplish? We don't have a lot of time in a semester to actually go through an entire business plan or to create a business plan. But for those of you that are looking into a business, if you want to take a look at this, if you have some questions, if you want to have some discussion with me related to that, I'd be more than happy to do that for you. In summary, owning a business is a huge commitment, but a very rewarding one, especially if you believe in what you're doing. Not all people are set up to be in their own business. And there are many support services around. If you decide you want to get into a small business, the Small Business Administration, I highly encourage you to look at that website, and they actually have an actual outline of a business plan. So as we close week 2, you should now have a great understanding of entrepreneurs, people that go out there and go all out to get a business off the ground. And certainly other people that either buy a business, an existing business, or create a business and just do something like a restaurant that, pretty much is something they just, have some slight differentiation in what they do. So as we conclude the week, please take time, again, read chapter 2. It's some great reading. Reach out to me with questions. Post to the discussion forum. Complete the online assignments as they're outlined on the online program. And again, post any feedback that you have. If there's something that you would like to see different, if there's some comments you want to make positive, negatively, that's very important. This is your class, and I'm always looking forward to getting your feedback. So again, have a great week, and thanks for listening.